Yeah.
Hello and welcome to this 1v1 Warno game played on Hesse Duel, very popular map these days, and it's between Axis playing 2nd Panzergrenadier Division, as per the usual, and he's up against Skiffik playing as Polish 20th Circle Division. We're on Hesse Duel, I already said that. Let's go to the deck reviews. Right, so looking at Axis on his quintessential, omnipresent 2nd Panzergrenadier Division, West Germany. And let's go through it tab by tab. So, first of all, I like to bring 3 cards of supply, particularly on any division with lots of tanks or lots of RT. And he's only got 2 here, so we'll see if he runs out of supply. All supply cards carry 6,000 supply now, which is a shame. But basically, as you can see, this is 2,000 supply for 60 points, whereas this would be 2,000 supply for 100 points. But you can sell it back and get all the money back, but while it's there, it's costing, it's theoretically costing you income. That's the way economists think, and you got to think like an economist if you want to win. And then he's got a wheeled CV here in Iltis Führung. But because he's got a wheeled CV here, in the form of the forward deployed FS Jaeger, I think it's probably a better idea instead of having this to have this one because it's cheaper and armoured and has smoke. Whereas this is faster but less armoured and dies to a light breeze. So I'm much more in favour of this one because it's 3 availability. Sadly, this one's only 2, but it is cheaper. No smoke, no armour. So infantry tab is pretty standard 2nd Panzergrenadier infantry tab. There's basically only 1 unit in this division, and it's called Panzergrenadier. They're 6 men, 35 points with a decent rocket launcher and DMR. DMRs are like 2 machine guns. So they've got 3 machine guns, and a machine gun is like 2 rifles. So they've basically got like 10 rifles. So it's roughly. So they fight with the strength of 10 men despite only being 6 men. And you bring them in the mod 1A3 Milan so that you can win at video game. But the thing is, right, so if we get the calculator up, this is a 90-point card, and 90 times 3 is 270. You don't really need the calculator for that. Whereas 85 times 3 is 255. So basically you can only buy 2 of these in a minute, whereas you can buy 3 of these in a minute. You do lose 1 armor, which is important because there are a lot of things in this game that have 18 pen. Mainly dragons, Dragon 2s, which have been nerfed so much that you basically don't see them anymore. Bastion ATGMs are at 18. Yeah, so the thing is, though, 5 points for more armor, even more top armor, is probably worth it, and you just take that hit on the momentum. It probably makes sense to build it like this. So he's got 18 of those, and then he just brings more of them in cars, because the DMR just makes it the most cost-efficient unit. And then he's got 1 card of yeah, so this has a better rocket launcher, but no DMR. And it doesn't come in the Milan transports. So, yeah, a bit of a weird one. This div, just all the other infantry, the prices just kept going up and up and up and up. Like, these guys went up because they were like 11 men, and then it was dropped to 9, and the price didn't come back down again. Now it's 50 points for 11 men, for 9 men, and it's just like direct inflation, basically. I do wonder what'll happen if he gets to a town, given that he's not bothered to bring any of the pioneers. Like, might be worth swapping out 1 of these for 5 pioneers. Used to be 6, blimey. And then you've got satchels at least. But yeah, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards of Panzergrenadiers. FS Jaeger for the opener. They're not special forces. And then, yeah, the Milan 2 Special Forces, Airborne Milan 2. Basically, you're paying 5 points for 1 free rank of veterancy, because these are 6 at no vet, and these are 6 at 1 vet. And so that gives you 5, you're basically paying 5 points for extra suppression resistance, 5% more accuracy, and forward deployment, which just makes it incredibly worth it. So you should always bring that one. And yeah, the forward deployed CV. RT tab, I do like these things a lot. I always bring 2 of these. Can be worth in team games bringing a bunch of Lars. Lars and like 4 Lars and a fob. Or 2 upvetted Lars and a fob. Actually works really well with this div. For those 3 AP. But this is a 1v1 tank tab, your fairly standard tank tab here, so you bring 6 Leopard 2A3s, 2 on the command, and then 2 at 1 vet. Never bring them at no vet. It takes like 6 minutes, 6 to 7 minutes to go from no cohesion back to high cohesion with no vet, whereas it takes 3 minutes at 1 vet. And given that basically every single ATGM in this game now does massive amounts of suppression. These are actually the lowest of the bunch. 2 shots from any ATGM in the game, and whatever your tank is, it's out of commission, and it's all about how fast it gets its suppression resistance. It gets its cohesion back. You just get bursted down straight away, and then you've got to get your cohesion back. So if it's at no vet, it's out of the fight for 6 minutes. If it's at 1 vet, it's back in the fight in 3 minutes, which is useful. Jaguar 2, so the price of these keeps going up. But yeah, you're paying 20 points for 3 pen. Trying to think, 25. What does 25 one shot? What does 22 one shot? 21 one shots a 7 armor vehicle. So 22 will one shot an 8 armor vehicle. 23 will one shot a 9 armor vehicle. Roughly. I know the starting point there. Basically, a lot of things have like 9 armor, like all these. And so this being able to one-shot those is useful. And also the accuracy is a lot better. So even though it's 20 points more, it probably is still worth it. It's just like, why is it so expensive? Just make everything else cheaper. I don't know. Leopard 1A5, so that you use these to pad out your blob. Basically, they're pretty decent. I mean, 120 is a bit rough, but they've got way more range, 2 pips more range than a Leopard 1A1, and 1 more pen, even though it doesn't look like it. Your pen goes up by 1 per 175 meters. Not 200, 175. So basically it's got 1 more pen at the same range, so it would have 18 at that range. And it's got more accuracy. Excuse me, I'll just edit that part out. Sorry, I am a bit ill. Spent my whole holiday ill, and then you get better and it's time to go back to uni. Hey, yay. Jäger I like a lot because they're 9 men with the very good optics, so you put them at the front and they generally see things. These guys I'm not such a big fan of because you've got FS Jäger to do the same thing at the start, forward deployed with a Panzerfaust 3. The only difference is they have exceptional stealth, whereas these only have good stealth. But, you know, 20 more points for 4 more men. Oh, you lose the stealth and stuff. Interesting. FS Jaeger are overpriced. So yeah, you can only get 1 card of Jaeger. I've cleared out those, so... But you could get rid of these and then bring something else. And then Lux and Scimitars. I know he likes to run both. Lux are better in the opener. Scimitars are better later on because they got more armor. But I think you've got enough auto cannons, perhaps. I mean... Although 18 isn't actually that many. And yeah, so now you've got more, and then racists to put next to your tanks. But I mean, this is exceptional, and this is very good. So if you've got all these, you probably don't need that racist there. So that, you know, if you get rid of any one of these, you save 3 AP, and then you can get an extra plane, which can be useful, or you can get an extra infantry unit, which can be useful, even if it's just a case of getting an extra... oh yeah, that's my home insurance. My home insurance is messaging me, telling me that there's inclement weather on the way. It's nice of them, I wish they'd stop. Anyways, because this goes 6-4, right? So, okay, so you get 18 here. Whereas if you do this, and then get another one, you know... you could get whatever vet, you could bring that at 6 vet, and then you'd have 18 again, except the first 12 would be at 2 vet. Do you know what I mean? If you got rid of this, or you could get you know, some more CVs in here or something, or you could bring 2 of these at 1 vet, although you know you're not gonna you don't have enough supply really. You could bring some more supply. You could you know, lots of things you could do with this. Yeah, you could get rid of this, and then you could bring some more supply here, and then whoops, you don't want to be up there in that, and then you could also bring any arty piece of your choice. I mean, obviously these are already at 1 vet, so let's say you like these, great. Now you're gonna like them a bit more, or you could bring 1 Lars too and just keep it fire. I mean, to be honest, with 3 supply, you'd be, yeah, I don't know. There are ways to do things here. Fliegerfaust, Eyehawk, Gepard is the standard combo. Helos, yeah, this thing, Hot 2, or you can pay 10 points less and get Hot 1, but the Hot 2 is better. And it kills stuff, right? And then Aircraft, so 2 cards of fighters, tornadoes, F-16s, and then this thing is pretty funny. Basically one-shots tanks and stuff. This thing also really good now because Mavericks had their accuracy go up. It was a while ago that it went up, but now they get a lot more accuracy. And then the Mega Waffle, which is not that great, to tell you the truth. I mean, it's sort of good meme. This is probably better value for money because it's 3 per card, but whatever. Switching to his opponent's deck, we got Skiffik playing Polish Square, Polish Circle even. I don't know my shapes. Pretty decent division. Out of the Polish ones, I'd say it's either the best or the second best. I'd say second best. I really like Donkey Kong. So let's go through it tab by tab. Lots of new stuff here. So 4 cards of supply. And then 3 CVs. These don't have smoke, but they are 3 per card, which is pretty cool. And it's got a Malyuka on it. Inf tab, he's not fully filled it, which is interesting, so he really doesn't have that much inf. He's brought a bundle of sticks. They don't get Conkers on this div. Pychota Z-Mech in the BWP1, which is very spammable at no vet. 10 per card. But, you know, generally you want things at 1 vet, because, as we spoke about, it takes 6 minutes to get your cohesion back, so you really want things at 1 vet. And he's brought it all at no vet and just left these 2 last slots blank. So Pychota Z-Mech. Saperzy, the Polish ones bring AT. The Komar is actually a single shot weapon, but in this game it's no, actually that is a it's only got single shot ammo quantity, but it's got a 6-second reload. So it's got reloadable reload, but single shot ammo quantity, which is just pretty funny, to be honest. And then, yeah, Pychota Z-Mech SVD and the BWPs2, which is the BMP2. And he's brought those at no vet as well. So all his imps at no vet, apart from this, which I might have upvetted myself by accident. No, I didn't. So, okay, so he's brought the bundle of sticks at 1 vet. Which, honestly, that's like the one that's least worth bringing at 1 vet. Generally, yeah, because that's only 5% accuracy and you'll lose 3 of them. And generally you don't need the stress resistance on these guys. If they're either not getting shot at or they're getting shot at, because they only have 2 HP, they die before they're out, right? RT tab, 120mm mortar. He's brought it in the car, which is a big mistake. Basically, the Polish get an armoured transport for this thing, which is just as fast as the car, faster off-road even. It's amphibious if you need it, which you don't really. But the point is that it so you keep your speed, but you also have the protection from counter battery, because you don't want to be selling this anyway, because you need to move this around. So you might as well bring it in the pay 5 points more for the transport. That's actually going to save you from the counter battery in a lot of cases, because it's got that armor, it's got that higher HP. Whereas this thing will just explode. Although it is 8 HP, it's got less than 1 armor, which means it takes like a multiple of damage basically. The Danners are pretty good. Sadly, they've got tracked speed despite being wheeled, which is a bit weird. But they're like the Giant S or the Akats. No, I think they're more like the Giant S. And yeah, the grads. So he's bought 2 of these each, and that's why he's got 4 cards of supply. Tank tab. T-72s are a bit underpriced, but the Polish ones come without Resolute, despite being identical, which is pretty funny actually, and they cost the same. So he's brought this, which is the Polish coffin launcher, very funny unit, hopefully we get to see it. And then he's just brought a bunch of T-72s, so T-72M will get one-shot by a 30 AP missile, such as a Maverick. M1 will not get one-shot, because it's got 17 armor. If you got 16, you get one-shot. If you got 17, you don't. And so naturally, all the T-72s... yeah. So the Wilk costs more, but has more range. Same pen at the same range, it's just got more range. So you're paying for that range. I mean, it's pretty expensive range there, but basically it's got a lot more to do with the fact that the M1 is underpriced than the Wilk being overpriced. The M1 is an extremely cost-effective tank. T-72 M1Ds, so these are the M1s, but the command variant. You get less per card. So he's brought 4, 5, 6, 7 CVs, which is typical. 3 CV cards is pretty typical. But none of them are wheeled, so he's going to lose out at the start. He's not got any wheeled CVs. So at the start he's going to have a rough time. This is Mad Matt, by the way. This is, I think it's Mad Matt. Yeah, it's him. He puts himself in every Eugen game once as like a running joke, which I think is pretty cool, actually. And that's him. He's a Pycho to Zedmech Führer. So, Recon tab, we got the Honkers. So this is Special Forces, which means it actually goes at 120, but it is only Recon deployed. And the squad itself is only 4 men. They've got a sort of a plethora of weapons, but they're only 4 men with an AT. But they're only 40 points, right? GSR, so these are 3 men with a ground surveillance radar, but they're 40 points, and he brings them in the Honker as well. And they're also recon forward deployed. And then the Zuiadausi, who are 4 men, 35 points. So he's not brought any of the big recon squads here. He's literally just brought all the small ones, which I don't agree with at all, because he's not got much inf here at all, right? And so he should be padding that out with... And to be honest, like, what? That's a 3-point slot. So instead of bringing that piece of junk, what was it? This and that. Like, how many follow man, how many small infantry recon do you need, right? What's the point? They all basically do the same thing. This makes sense because of this ground surveillance radar. This makes sense because of the RPG. This doesn't make sense. So you get rid of that, and you get 3 points, right? And you can either spend it on, you know, a unit that works, so 7 men, or 8 men for 55 satchels. Recon shock is not a bad deal. That's tracked. That is a bad deal. Blimey, 30 points for that. Should be 25, really. Oh, so it's got good optics, which is why it's not. So yeah, you could bring those, and then you could actually fight. Or you could say, well, look, I've probably got enough recon, 10 infantry recon and 10 vehicle recon. Now I can bring some Pycho to Zedmech, and then I can start up vetting some things, you know, and then great. Now I've got 14 usable units instead of 10 unusable units, right? So yeah, recon helo. I used to feel like I always needed one of these, but sometimes you could do without, depending on how wide the map is. And then a BMP 1D. So this has got exceptional optics, so you put it with your tanks. This is a must bring, basically. If you're not bringing this one, you should bring this one with the very good optics, but for 10 points more, you get exceptional optics, and you get more availability, and you get armor, and you get smoke. You get worse stealth, worse speed, right? But you just put this with your tanks, so your tanks can actually see. I also forgot to mention that he's literally got 10 Maryuka P carriers here. So at that point, does he really need this? Given that he's so light on the infantry, you know, he could bring some more infantry. Recon tab, oh, we spoke about that. AA tab's just fairly standard Cub, Strela, Shilka, which is a bit weird, actually. I'd be in favour of getting rid of the Shilka or getting rid of the Strela and bringing some man pads, because basically, if you want to kill enemy helicopters, this is yeah, I would get rid of the shulker really because it's just the range isn't very good. This thing is much better. Now that missiles have suppress on miss, you really don't need this for anything. You just get 2 cubs and it routes any any air. And then you use this thing if you want to get helicopters because it's got max range, gets helicopters, and then you get these guys and you could upvet them once, and then they'll get 40% accuracy, like your pure spam strats. But you generally don't need 12, so you just get 8 at 40%. And then basically, because these have exceptional stealth, whereas you see bad, 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 these could get much closer to the front line, and when you're pushing, you actually put man pads in with your push, and that helps destroy the enemy helicopters and planes and stuff. Or it helps a little bit. I mean, obviously they're only Strellas, so can understand why you might not be bringing them. Shout out to these things for being towed and rubbish. It would be nice if they worked, but whatever. Helo tab, so 2 Phalanger Ps, and then 2 more Phalanger Ps, so that's fair enough, really. 2 per card. And, you know, this thing, 70 points. It's just not worth it, really. Should be 60, really. Air tab, so you don't get good planes on this, you don't get good AA planes on this div, that's sort of the fundamental weakness. So you get this thing, which is a shotgun fighter, and you do get 4 of them, which is really decent. Or you get this thing, which is a this is actually an allegedly long-range missile. It doesn't shoot helicopters, but the accuracy's so low, like it's just worse than this. You might as well just try and get into range, although the accuracy on this is also so low, so yeah. You're basically relying on the cubs, and you can bring 8 of them if you really want, so you should have enough cubs. HE plane, so this is the same as the one in like 4th and 7th and KDA and so on, but it's different. And then the it's Polish, it's white, and I'm gonna get in trouble for saying that. And then the best AT plane in the game, best AT plane in the game. Honestly, this thing is so last year. For 10 points less, you could get this, which the payload isn't as good, but it's also 3 per card. It has 10 HP, so it doesn't die in 1 hit to an Eyehawk. And it's got 30% ECM, and the rocket's reloaded 16 seconds, and it's got sidewinders, so it can shoot helicopters while it's doing the funny thing. So you lose a lot of payload, but you are way, way, way cheaper. And basically, the advantage of this is that it does actually, like, blat any single infantry squad you send it against, whereas this probably won't kill them. It'll just mess them up pretty bad. If they're high HP ones, it'll mess them up pretty bad. But 16-second reload time. So that's it for the deck reviews. Let's get back to the game. Right, so with the deck reviews out of the way, let's look at the deployment. Don't see a lot of Polish Circle yet. It is a good div, but it's like, why play this when 9th Panzer Division does the same thing but better in every way, in almost every way. And so it's very difficult to justify playing Polish Circle, but there you go. So as we spoke about in the deck review, which he definitely didn't skip, he brings only small recon teams. So he's got no 7-man recon teams. He just brings 3 cards of 4-man recon teams. So he's brought 2 for each point, because obviously by themselves they're going to lose, right? So 2 ROS 4-man recon team, special forces in the Honker. Another 4-man recon team, special force, not special forces, and so this is like that, but worse, but 10 points cheaper. You're paying 10 points for a better RPG, and for some reason, more PKM rounds. So these special forces, man, they just carry more bullet, you know, because they just carry 80 more bullets, apparently. Anyway, that's going all the way back here, which is going to be pretty funny. That is actually a recon unit, and it's got good stealth, but I think this, for example, would see that there. So realistically, I think he'd want to be back here. We'll see how it goes for him. Now we've got 2 honkers, honk honk, and then 2 BWR1Ds. These are BMP1s with ground surveillance radar, exceptional optics thing on it. And he's got 2 of those going there. BMP2. called BWP2 in Polish service. Remember from the deck review, which you definitely didn't skip, he brings all his infantry at no vet. Whereas his opponent brings all his infantry at 1 vet. So you'd expect the 1 vet infantry to be winning the fights, but we'll see. And then you've got the Shilka, Polish Shilka, called the Zhilka. Then we've got another 4-man team. And he's sending the vehicle up to there and putting the guy here. That's quite conservative. I mean, why not put him here? I mean, he's got exceptional stealth, right? Recon Hilo, so lots and lots and lots of recon. Lots of recon. So much recon right now. 2 more 4-man Special Forces teams. 2 more 4-man Special Forces teams. Just going all over the place. And an exceptional optics down here. Honestly, I'd be more inclined to send one of those 4-man Special Forces team. And then another recon heal. I just say this guy likes seeing. He really wants to see. Really wants to see. Seeing is believing, as they say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's got 15 recon units in his opener. Probably excessive. And only 7 non-recon units. And keep in mind, you can't sell these honkers. Can't sell them. So, yeah, he's not going to get like a sudden massive gust of income. So he's got 1 CV. That's going Bravo Echo Zulu. And then there's Mayutka, BMP2, and Zhilka. So he just wants to defend hard, basically. And he's trying to do a few meme things. Oh, there's actually 3 recon healers, so 2 wasn't enough. He just really wants to see. He's big on seeing. He's seeing is believing. Yeah. Switching to his opponent's deployment. Slightly fewer recon units. So only 3 recon units. Which is on the low side. In his deck review, did he have the... I don't think he had a CV Hilo in his... I literally just did this. I can't remember. He had Jäger Aufklärer, regular Aufklärer, Scimitar Lux Racist. That was it, all 5. He didn't have a recon. I was counting them there, but apparently that, what can I say? My younger sibling called me white the other day. I mean, what do I look white to you? They are a half sibling, but we literally look the same. We share a parent. And it's like, yeah, but you said something like but you're white. And it's like, what? What do you mean? Anyway, I'm white now, apparently. I mean, Irish people didn't used to be white, right? I'll put that thing on the screen if I remember. But basically, there was... Oh, we shouldn't get into it. We shouldn't get into it. So yeah. FS Jäger Aufklärer going to here just to stop somebody from coming down here. I mean, you could put him up here so you get more vision, but then your rocket launcher can't actually shoot them if they are coming down here. So I got 675. Well, it's got a pretty decent range, 675 meters. It's like an Appalachian except worse. Everything's like an Appalachian except worse. And then, yeah, 1 here, same story. CV forward deployed there, and forward deployed CV here. So he should get the tick at the start, and then Polish Circle, with his very defensive income, is going to spend the rest of the game attacking, but he does have 4 supply cards with 2 Grads, 2 Pions, Danners. Yeah, as you'll know from the deck review, which you definitely didn't skip. So... FS Jäger Aufklärer. Sorry, I am still a little bit under the weather. I'm sorry for sounding so nasally. FS Jäger regular, bit of an overpriced unit. Intentional. Did we already speak about this? We did in the deck review, which you didn't skip. FS Jäger there. FS Milan 2. FS Jäger. So 2 very defensive openers from both players. And okay, so here's the push. So 2 Marder 1A3 Milans, 2 Leopard 1A5s, a Gepard, and 2 Scimitars make up that opening salvo there. So can't stop the planes, but can make them suffer a bit, mess up some of these recon healers. So let's cast the game. We shall do so from this perspective. Right, so they're off, and it's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners, generously joining the channel. Makes all this possible. Best way to support the channel, you press the join button below the video, and just give me a whole wallet. You're not spending it on anything anyway. What? They get the videos early. They get members exclusive videos. They will get, if they fill out the survey below the members exclusive videos, which most of them still haven't done. I guess they don't have much faith in me. They will get early access to my hit game Hearst Hero. So there you go. You see the FS Jaeger outclair. He really needs to unload there, and he could have done with being like 3 meters closer. This does actually have 4 PKTs on it, which I've never really seen used until now. So there you go, FS Jaeger, BTFO. You'd expect FS Jaeger Aufklärer to lose this because these guys are special forces, and also there are 4 PKTs. Wow, incredible 4 PKT gameplay. Generally, you would expect... what? Oh, he landed. He could have killed it with this, actually, but whatever. Generally, you would expect a second Panzergrenadier player to open with an F-16 because their forward-deployed assets are so vulnerable to enemy helicopters because they get no forward-deployed AA. But in this case, he did not open with it, and he got beaten up by a bunch of Mi-2s with 4 PKTs, which is just embarrassing, really. He's got problems on all flanks now, except the middle flank, where he is winning. And will probably continue to beat up his opponent. Because like he's been pushed out here. Has this actually managed to fire any of its... So these exceptional optics vehicles really paying for themselves there, because this guy just got messed up. FS Jaeger here was able to... No, they're still not fired. It's this Milan 2 doing all the shooting. So that honker will probably break the LOS there. Ooh, yeah, it does. And honk honk. Yeah, he just needs to move this to that building. Over here, though, I mean, Blue's doing fine, just fine, although he's not got a CV. He did get an enemy CV, which means that Axis is currently winning. Despite not having a great time, these Rosps guys have really messed him up. That's why I don't really like the FS Jaeger Aufklärer. They're just bad at FS Jaeger. I mean, I understand that they're recon, but that's why I use the Jaeger Aufklärer. Thing is, he's not actually brought... oh, man, he needs to unload this or something. That probably will get that. Yeah. That's another kill there. So he's not got a CV with this, which is a big shame, because like he's managed to get so far. He could have capped this and capped this, but he didn't have a CV with it. So big shame. That BWR should lose to the Scimitars at that range. Yeah, I was going to say, he should really try and deal with this as fast as possible before the reinforcements come in. What he needs to do, and he is actually doing it, which is intelligent, is get behind that rock before... Yeah, there we go. Pop your smoke. Or just die. He was stunned there. And that BWP went down there to Marder, 2 Marder 103s. Leopard 1s versus Wilkes. Smoke this one. Wow, I guess he knew it was going to miss. That was pretty powerful gameplay. Mega Waffle. There you go. Lags your game every time you see it fire. He did get 2 units here. He needs to keep this in and use this to shoot that with the AIM 9L. So it looks like he is doing that. It looks like he wouldn't. It looks like he thought about it and changed his mind. So yeah, having this here is good because he can shoot guys down the way. He needs to be in this building really. Then he can shoot. Well, okay. Oh, I guess he got that with the machine gun. Yeah, like this guy, move him up. But it's difficult to fight everywhere on the map at once. But I think he's done a very good job here of cutting his enemy's reinforcements and taking advantage of the situation. The thing is, though, if he was here, he'd be killing that when it comes past. But I don't think he will be able to. Okay, he's doing it now. No, no. That's a shame. Big shame. I guess he couldn't see it. He didn't see it until just now. Well, I guess he probably still can't see it. But if he'd moved this up... Oh, no, there we go. Oh, okay. Okay, so he got it. He got it there. I mean, 60%... 65% base accuracy. These guys don't actually have an AT, so they're getting bullied by the honkers. You can use an F-16 to shoot honkers, but you do need to know where it is. And right now he's just targeting the ground. Okay, seeing it now. So that Vulcan cannon almost gets that honker. Bit of a waste of a Milan missile, to tell you the truth, but... Yeah, that FS Jaeger would have killed it. You could have done some advanced micro there, where you switch off the Milan 2 and let this shoot, but honestly, it's just not worth it. Might as well just shoot the thing. Skiffik was doing really well. they are cheaper, and they do come at 4 per card, whereas these are only 2 per card. But yeah, the fact that... I mean, nobody died there, so I guess it's all good. But yeah, this is a pretty powerful position from Axis. I mean, you might want to put this back a little bit, and maybe get this guy, like, into the actual forest. Because right now he's not actually in cover. He's not actually in cover there. You see he's turned off the auto cover on his unit. In fact, he's turned it off on all of them. It must be off by default. So yeah, he's not actually in cover there. So I prefer having the auto cover off and then turning it on by default and then turning it off in situations that require it. But yeah, Skiffik, he's got really good recon. Like, this actually hasn't been spotted. I guess if he buys the scimitar down here, he'd probably see it. Icho to Zedmech, trying to rush it down. This can't help. This can, though, if he gets it down here. Like, he actually has to move it down there. Bopar goes down over here. Yeah, the auto cannons shred these. Although 2v1, I suppose. Because it was moving, it missed a lot. So this guy can pop his smokes. He gets 3 of them. He can sit in a cloud of his own farts for ages. And over here, the Wilks will eventually wear down the Leopard 1A1s. They are just a better tank. I mean, they cost more, but they are better. Pop the smoke, use the smoke. Ooh, powerful smoke play there. And now he needs to get away from that guy who's still shooting him. Oh, wow, 1 HP. Pop that smoke again. So just go sit there, that's fair enough, I suppose. Pychota going down. And yeah, here come the reinforcements. Needs to pop that smoke again. Smoke's gonna fade. Uh-oh. How long does that last? And this will 3-shot that. So the Marder 1A2 Milan would have been 2-shot, I guess. So this is going for the Maoyuka. It should really be going for the Wilk, but I guess he probably can't see that. He's going for the Maoyukas. And that killed those 2 units there. He should be able to sling an AIM 9L on the way out. Oh, he misses, okay. But yeah, does he not see the Wilks? I guess not, actually. And over here... No, smoke! Quick! Use your smoke. Everybody forgets about the smoke, including me, because they didn't used to have them. They didn't used to have all this smoke stuff. It's basically Broken Arrow put smoke on all the infantry units, and then they all started doing it. They started adding it in Warno. There's a lot of things like that. We have a lot to thank Broken Arrow for in this game, because they literally just copy them. And that's fine. Broken Arrow copied Warno. Warno copies Broken Arrow. We, as the consumer, should be happy about that, because then we get 2 good games. Just copy the best parts of each other's games. There's another game coming out. Well, I mean, they're trying to get funding for it. It's called Play of Battle. Yeah, you see the Wilks, man. They do win. And that's a Polish game. So, no doubt, Polska will be very Gurom in that game. It's called Play of Battle. I was going to go to Warsaw to play it, but I just couldn't justify 300 quid to go play a Broken Arrow ripoff. And also, I wasn't going to Warsaw by myself, me being brown and all. Although, as we've established in this video, I'm actually white, so it's fine. And look, auto cover off, not in the buildings. I vastly prefer having auto cover on by default. Just turn it off when you need it off. You can hotkey it, so you don't have to press it twice here to change it. You can hotkey it, so it's just 1 button. So, yeah, you see the power of the... I mean, it only does 1 damage, but it stuns him and he has to go back. Like, look at that. 2, and you're on low cohesion. And that's basically any AT in the game. 2, and you're on low cohesion. You don't have to kill a Wilk. You just have to make him go away. And then you could go hide on... I mean, I wouldn't be doing that. I'd be running towards it. I'd be hiding here. But yeah, these things, you know, the 4 times PKT, I honestly thought was useless. But this game has proven to me that actually does have a place in the game. I just thought it was a waste of time having 4 times PKT. But yeah, you need to get to there, and then you're safe. So, both players slowly clearing out the problems in their back lines. Axis was just a little bit faster in doing that than Skiffik was, and that cheeky shot on the CV at the start means that this has only been captured 10 minutes into the game. 10 minutes into the game, and they've finally both stabilized the front lines, although there is a cheeky Marder 1A3 Milan here. You could put it... Well, I don't know, actually, because if you put it there, then you're in tank range. You could put it, like, down this road, maybe. There we go, so he's using these in pairs to clear out the bow powers, but you got to be careful, because 1 Eyehawk at that range would... Yeah, you see that they're both getting suppressed by 1 missile. You see that, right? Suppress on miss, very important. And so that... Well, why the evac? Should have evac there. Should have just kept slinging those 7,000... Because these guys just don't have the range. And so you could just keep slinging those 7,700 meter range missiles at them. And then, they will lose cohesion. And if they dive you, then you bring in the F-16 and you kill them. But you should just be able to sling it and turn. Tornado's got quite a narrow turning circle. This has actually provided so much vision for Skiffik. Very powerful gameplay. But yeah, Axis taking this is huge because that helps a lot as well. And yeah, so a few panic buys here. Need some FS Jaeger in here in case that Wilt comes in. Not this again. Uh-oh. Yeah, well, that's why you don't fight with your CV unit. So this is probably dead now. Down he goes. And remember, he evac'd all those ASFs, so can't even fight back. Unimod captured here. So basically, when you spawn a unit, it will spawn here. So you see how he's put this behind it. You should really have reversed here, so it'd be facing this way. But basically, when they spawn in, he should shoot them in the back with the Grom. It's only got 35% accuracy, like. That Marder 1A3 eventually went down, but this took a lot of hits for that. He almost got it. And, yeah. Axis still has a problem here, it seems. He needs infantry in these buildings. Just Panzer Grenadier. And he will struggle against the T-72s, because he needs Leopard 2s to kill those. And, as we know from the deck review, Skiffik has two cards of AT plane, which one-shot those Leopard 2s from the front. So here we go. Hopefully he gets a kill here, depending on who you're rooting for. A big air spam there. The Strozala misses. Lots of red deaths. Mega Waffle back out. Gonna get that Pychota Zedmech. Polish is such a beautiful language. And, yeah, the Tornado IDSs with their Mavericks do not one-shot the front armor of a Wilk, but will one-shot the front armor of a Leopard 2, which he's not actually bought any of yet. But all this time, everything he buys, on this road anyway, is being spotted. Everything that comes down this road isn't. And he hasn't noticed that is, because he clearly bought that for this. He hasn't noticed that it's not there. This isn't a decent spot as well. So... what I'd love to see Skiffik do is buy 4 Cubs. Yeah, here we go. You need at least 2, because, it's just... you need to hold your tanks. And, in terms of, like, advantages, surely the Polish div should be fighting for X-Ray, trying to come up here, using his tanks, whereas he's instead chosen to come in here, where he's actually pretty weak, because he doesn't have that much infantry, and he can't really use his tanks. Although T-72s at minimum range are pretty decent. But yeah, he needs to, like, you can put this here and then shoot that. Is that on the ground? So even though that shot first, the Phalanger is really slow. So this actually overtook it. And that Marder 1A3 just took out a helicopter with its ATGMs. So... also, for some reason, the Marder 1A3s have one more ATGM. Marders have one more ATGM than, like, any other IFV. All the other ones have 4. 4. 4. Right? 4. I'm just clicking the same one over and over again. But the Marders have 5. Which, it does help. Here we go. So he's finally put some Panzer Grenadiers in here. I'd love to see an FS Jaeger, because of the... I wonder if he's got any left, actually. He might not have any left. Simply because of the Panzerfaust 3. Or he could put one of those 4-man teams there. Yeah, so you'd expect these guys to win. And so he has to leave, right? But if he pulls them over the Cubs... and instead of, like, having 3 of these out, you just keep 1 here. Click, 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 click. And then you can, you can evac the other 2. Call them in when you need them. But you just keep 1 there. Also, these guys are, like... these guys have been here for ages. And if you're not using it, basically it just makes the resupply time go up because of all the fuel they're burning. Which needs replacing. Like, there's a lot of guys here. Skiffik clearly wants to come down here, but it's a worse place for him to attack. He wants to be fighting over X-Ray, really. Because he could use all his Malyukas and stuff, he could use his BMP-2s and push through here and then come down here, but it's this kind of lame brain mentality. I get it as well. He's evac those IBSs. We're almost out of fuel. Where, like, this is the fastest path, whereas this, you've got to come all the way around here, and the enemy spawn is kind of close, and you get picked off by air a lot, so you need the cubs, and then you can push up to here, which helps, and then you get round to here, which allows you to get into here. If you can get to here, it's perfect, but that can be difficult. You got it because you got to take out these buildings, basically, and then once you get to, like, here, then you can get to here, and once you're here, you're in the zone with some smoke. But instead, he's going for Lima, which is just so difficult to attack. Same with Echo. They're both so difficult to attack. But I'd say that Echo's a bit easier to attack than Lima, but X-Ray's a bit easier to attack than Zulu. So that's the trade-off. But yeah, it's just Hesse Duel gaming. The points are just in weird places. It's very difficult to push. There's an even number of zones. There's no middle zone because there's 4 on each side. No middle zone. All this time, this guy just sat here. Oh, the racist should see him. The racist should see him because it's exceptional optics. Yeah, he definitely sees him. The thing is, will he notice? And it looks like he's not noticing because you'll get a thing saying enemy contact. But no, he's not noticed. It's a shame. Oh, no, he's noticed. Oh, that one was evac bingo. He needs to, like, unload this, and then he would kill it. Like, Skiffik hasn't noticed that he's been noticed. Or he could just evac this here, and then that would kill it. He's going to use the tornadoes on it. Which isn't going to happen from that direction. Just bring it round to here and go in that way. I mean, he's still alive. So that just gets to stay there, apparently. Okay. If he spawned a scimitar on this road, it would kill it as it drives past. Because they come in on attack move orders, right? Whereas this doesn't have a weapon. So even though it is on an attack move order, it doesn't actually have a weapon, so it can't attack. So it doesn't stop when it sees this. I do like the M110s. I am quite surprised that it has taken 20 minutes for either player to bring the artillery out. Just goes to show how hectic that opening was, with both players being around the sides of each other. And yeah, Axis definitely wants to try and push up here, which is intelligent. This is where both these divs are strongest, and this is where both these divs are weakest. You could argue that, well, that means that, you know, it doesn't matter where you attack, but really, you know, you just put an FS Jaeger here, and nobody's coming down there. Just get blatted by Panzerfaust 3, and he's clearly still got them, because he's still buying them. Yeah. And over here, oh, here we go. So he got one. Will Axis notice? Will he notice? No, he won't. He'll just lose 2 units and not notice. So that's big points there. That's 110 points gone. So this thing's already paid for itself, clearly. And it got a supply, so that's another 20 points. 25 points. Yeah, man. Yeah. So yeah, you can put it behind things. If you've got auto cover turned off, they won't just immediately jump back into the house and get shot again, which is really annoying. But yeah, he's not noticed this. That's the 3rd unit he's lost there, because he sent the supply before. So that's easy to miss, the supply, but losing actual guys should be concerning. And all he's got to do is spawn some and deploy him here, and then they'll kill that straight away. So here we go, the artillery's out. Did he get anything for that first one? I don't think so. And over here, Skiffik losing a lot of units to AT missiles. Oh, hello. Interesting. He's not actually used a fast move order either, he's just going cross-country. Plane wave out, F-16s are out just to soak the damage, I think. Isn't this danger close for the task force? Right, so he lost 7 men to kill 6 men there. That is German efficiency, I suppose. I hope he doesn't lose any planes as well. Oh man, okay. So he lost 7 men in a plane to kill 6 men there. German efficiency at its finest. And now this has clear skies because everybody else has been right. Oh, okay, maybe not. So what you can do is put this on aggressive, and then it will more actively sling its Mavericks. basically on anything it can. So you can like click here, then left click, and it should start slinging at those BMP ones, perhaps. FS Jaeger will lose to Paichota Zedmech. I mean, he needs to bring these guys up so that they can help. But yeah, 4 men will lose to 7 men. As simple as that. The arty's not shooting. Oh, it is now. Oh, he's aiming for that. But that's now moving, because he's killed the guy. So it's on its attack move order. So he stopped it, because he knows that that's probably what's happening. BMP-1 there, being shot at. Will probably kill that if it doesn't move. And yeah, reinforcements here. So in pushing this axis, Axis has revealed that this axis is quite weak, and now Skiffik is pushing this axis in order to push Axis back so that he can take X-ray down this axis. So that's fair enough. A racist goes down. There's now the 4th unit he's lost to this. Will he notice? Will he notice? And yes, we got that BMP one. I think that's like basically how you play Polish Circle and Polish Square. You spam BWP1. They don't get smoke though. I think it's honestly better to just play the East German divs. What's the Polish advantage exactly? Same tanks for the same price, but without the pretty powerful Resolute trait. Yeah. Anyway, he killed a T-72 there. And yeah, they're both getting suppressed by the same shot there. So you see this guy's already on low cohesion from 1 Conkers. That's why you got to bring everything at 1 vet, because you just get suppressed so easily in this game. With all the ATGMs flying around, doesn't matter what armor your tank has. 2 shots from anything and it's low cohesion, so you got to get that high veterancy so that you can recover faster. So neither of these can see each other apparently, even though they are in LOS, so he needs a racist up there. He's got that back here. Makes sense to have a racist here, because then he can see down this axis, and same for this guy. I do wonder if this guy can actually see that racist. It's only mediocre stealth. Okay, so this is something you see Axis do a lot. He basically gets his planes and puts them here, so that as soon as you spawn a plane, it dies. But I just don't understand why he's evacing all 4 of his fighters at once. There you go, 3 Cubs should have something to say about that. Okay. I mean, that was at max range, and they don't have a lot of accuracy, so... And that was a 30% ECM, so it makes some sense. You can smoke this. Don't think he noticed it, though, so it went down to Zwyadowski. You can smoke this as well, but you see they just get stunned straight away by anything. It's very sad. I think it's 300 to stun, but stun is on an RNG chance, and the first RNG chance is 300, I believe. So these, despite having a low pen, have a chance to one-shot stun any vehicle in the game, which is very exciting. So mortar's going down there. How do you see that? This probably used to be here or something, or he saw him like coming in. I mean, he used to have units up here that might have been there for a while. Still not noticed this. I'm surprised Skiffik hasn't reinforced this, actually. He just put an actual unit back there. I guess he doesn't have to. I mean, it takes a long time to get there. He doesn't have units here. This guy can see not much, but, you know, he's helping out. He's helping out. So the Panzer Grenadiers are trying to take these buildings back, and the fighting carries on here. It's just a very... that's just the map, and it's not the map, it's the zones. It's the way the zones work. I really wish there was... like, I really liked the SD1 line system, where it just draws a line on the map and says, you know, however big the area on the map you control is however much you win. And they watered it down a lot for SD2 and turned it into flags, which are captured using that line. 2 guys, 1 building, many such cases. I've noticed the guy hasn't bought a single Eyehawk this game. And there has been a lot of bombings. And he's just relying on his fighters, but he doesn't leave one loitering. So he doesn't, for starters, he doesn't see the bombers until they come in, and then he can't kill him because his fighters are always evac'd. He just needs a tornado here all the time. It would see everything. Well, it would see the fighters. Yeah, that is not great, mate. And yeah, you could do with putting a Milan 2 in these buildings, and he's also yet to buy a Leopard 2. And it's been, what, 30 minutes? So there you go. Normal cohesion there. So, okay, so he's starting to loiter them now. And, yeah, the accuracy on these is still reasonably good. You see that, well, hand ones, they don't do a lot of damage to that. And a cub went down there, so he's only got 3 left, which are all here. And to be honest, they haven't moved since they fired, so it would have been cool if Axis, as soon as they fired, ping, ping, ping. And then he could have killed a couple. He could have killed 2 of those, basically. But yeah, this is slow. It's slow and steady. I think Axis also needs an infantry unit in here, because look, if they come over, or even just behind this hill. Because if they come over here in force, what have you got? 1 Milan 2, 1 Leopard 1. You got a few more things here that you can move over. Ah, the Artie's in vision. I wonder if the Grads will have a go. So, you see the power of the ATGMs, and, you know, they're doing a lot of missing. And there you go, Shilka spotted now. The second Panzergren does get Seed. Because I cast another game of Axes recently. By the way, you know, if you want your game casting, you can sign up to a Tier 2 or Tier 3 channel member. It's basically the closest thing in Warno to coaching. I don't know anybody else who offers this service apart from like a Ukrainian guy, NBK. Basically just copied me, which is fine, I mean, but it's not in English, so you might struggle. And, yeah, you know, it's a great way to get some feedback, right? And it supports the channel, it helps out the channel, and, you know, if you beat a famous player, then, I mean, people generally send me losses and wins about 50% of the time. So, yeah, these things can really mess up 3 top armor, because you'll notice the T-72s have 3 top armor, which does make them quite resistant to artillery. It's a great way to get some feedback on how you play, and you know, if you beat somebody famous, you can get 1,500 people to watch it, right? Or you could use it for what it's actually intended for, which is getting some good feedback on how you play. But there's definitely people who do the latter, but generally most people send me losses and wins that are, you know, they can send me whatever they want. But here we go, Grad's out because he sees them because of this. So these things, they do have less than 1 top armor, and that one gets routed and might die. So yeah, it's all about that vision. It's all about that vision. Oh mate, what, they just survived? Crazy. If only he'd had the Danners out. The 2 Danners hitting that would have killed one of those, whereas the Grad... Oh, he stopped the volley. If he kept it going, he probably would have hit it. Probably would have killed it, even though obviously he hit it lots. Here we go, Leopard 2's finally purchased, so he's put a CV with them as well. And yeah, you see the smoke strats. You need a unit here as well, really. I mean, this, basically, you've got to assume there's somebody here, so you can't always move up, but he can shoot, I think. Oh, it's re-aiming, it's whoa, acquire targeting, bam! Oh, he missed! That would have been a kill. And yeah, these guys really should have just driven forwards, but you know, you can't have everything. And now you can use those M102Gs to shoot these mortars, which you really should be doing. Especially given that they're in cars. Oh, it died. I didn't even see what killed it. It was probably this. There's the secondaries going off. And, yeah, that's a very dead Milan too. I just don't understand why he didn't buy the Ihawks. He's literally got no ground-based AA, not a single Fliegerfaust or anything. The Ihawks are good, just put one here and you'd one-shot these. I don't think he's lost any of those. You might have done. Anyway, there's, you see the power of the 5 armor, it does keep you alive, especially with all those, Milans that you get, and so what's he doing? Scouting for AA? Well, he's found it. Yeah, he was scouting for AA, so now he's going to bomb the AA. No, he went for the tanks. Did get a tank, but he'll die. So I think if he'd gone for that AA piece, he might have survived. He might have still died. But if it landed there, he would have killed 2 of them. I don't know, obviously. It's a bit optimistic. So yeah, Skiffik, he's trying to smoke his way in here. He's got 9 minutes. I think he sort of blew it a bit. He should have bought some more infantry and got up to here. And got up to here. And he really should have bought those Danners at some point to clear out these ATGM positions and stuff. Rather than relying on the bombers, although the bombers have worked for him because his opponent hasn't actually bought any AA. And his fighter micro is basically just a bit wasteful. Oh, this is very interesting. Where's that grad? Oh, it's not being resupplied. Like, look at that. He sees it all. He literally sees it all. I do like how he's suppressing the enemy AA positions, even if, you know, there's way too many to kill them all. You're basically forcing the enemy to keep buying AA, which slows down his pushes. You'll notice these are out of ammo. They're also in the wrong place. You want them over here, really. If you're trying to attack this zone, they shouldn't be back here. They should be over here, because then you can cover over here, which is where the bombers are coming in. I do like the smoke play from Skiffik. I really do think that Axis should be prioritizing these smoke mortars because they're not moving. And a lot of it comes down to game knowledge, right? The Soviets don't have a single self-propelled mortar. That thing finally died, and now he's like, oh, better move all this. The grads weren't being resupplied, otherwise they could have done a big number on that. But there's now 5 Leopard 2A3s with 0 AA. And you see they've got 16 front armor, so those AT planes, which Skiffik has 4 of, can... and that's the advantage of that way of doing things. Can one-shot these. Yeah, that needs to smoke. Oh, it's very dead. And then you lose vision. So you can use attack position if you're paying attention, but if he moves even a meter, you know, you're not going to hit him. And, yeah. The disadvantage of blobbing, of course, is that even bombers like this can mess you up. Also, the grads can mess you up, but the grad hasn't been resupplied. Where is that going? I guess he thought he was behind the smoke or something. This is a bit dangerous because he could get shot at from multiple angles, so he is back in there. Has he lost one yet? It's a really good micro, actually. Could have smoked with just one of them or something. But you see they're all getting suppressed by one shot. Is suppressing all of them because of the split. Uh-oh. Whoa. Yep. He's pinging it. I don't know why he's pinging it. I need to stop doing that thing where I itch my eyes. It's just... I've got a lot of, like, I wouldn't call them nervous tics, but there are a lot of ways I could improve my casting simply by just being less of a spurg. So this guy lost a HP somehow, which makes me think that he is targeting these. No, he really needs to be targeting these. He really does. They're not moving. He could get them, but he's going for like individual tanks, which is fair enough, right? But you've got enough tanks to kill the enemy tanks. This is the problem. The problem is your enemy is like playing Minecraft, basically, and he's building structures on the map, which are blocking your LOS. That's a good way of thinking of... Well, it's not really, but... your enemy is dictating the map, right? And depending on how effective... Like, look, he's cut off all his enemies' fire support there. Like, this could be in there now. Obviously, he's got this problem where he keeps getting shot through there, but if he just goes through it, he will lose LOS. I do wonder if he will go through it. Like, this is not a fast boy. So will he just... Oh, it's routed. Wow. Wow. Good timing. And so you need to take this out. They're not moving. You've got these. No. You've got your own tanks for that. Kill the smoke mortars. You can also use bombers on that little block there. Like, he is about to get in, but there's an enemy CV here. Or a friendly one, depending on who you're rooting for. And there's a lot of tanks here. It's just a shame this grad wasn't resupplied. He's now going to be shooting his own guys. Has he stopped the arty? He has. So now's the perfect time to shoot those smoke mortars. They're not moving. Oh, mate, get me out. There we go. We got it. So is that neutralized? There we go. Now it's captured. So that got him a cheeky 17 points. You really need infantry in that smoke thing if you're going to do that. The Poles do get an anti-tank team, but... Okay, so spare CVs, that's fair enough. I mean, he's already got an Iltisführung here, so really he should have just bought one. But when there's 4 minutes left, you got to expect your enemy to do something zany. I would be buying RECON for this. Or sending some of these looks around here and trying to locate... Like, you could send one of those CVs over there. Oh, that's actually a really good piece, simply because the enemies were there. But yeah, all the Panzer Grenadiers are dying. And here we go. So desperation plays out now. There's only 4 minutes. He's got to get some points. So putting a CV here was quite intelligent. The Jaguar 2 does go down, but there's another one here, and he did force that back. And now he's got all these Marders here. And he's got infantry in the smoke waiting to receive the enemy. But just imagine a universe where he just shot these smoke mortars, which haven't moved since they started firing. Imagine that universe. The Cubs have been moved up. Just kill them. And then I think Skiffik surrendered there. So GG. And it really just came down to Axis got points early and it's Hesse. That's literally it. So this is Axis, ranked 48 with 373 games as 2nd Panzergren. That's not true, he plays a bit of 101st and other stuff, but it's mainly 2nd Panzergren. Very good at 2nd Panzergren. This is Skiffik, who plays just about everything. He's currently ranked 2. He's got a lot of games. He's got more than me, actually. He's got twice as many as Axis. So a lot of that comes down to, I think, some familiarity with the divisions. I got that impression a lot. Certainly the fact that Skiffik never bought his heavy howitzers was a bit weird. And, like, he didn't resupply his grads and stuff. And just the way, like, so Axis got points early, and then Skiffik didn't push the right part of the map. He was pushing the right part of the map at the end, but he was, he lost a lot of time trying to push the wrong part of the map, and eventually, he was just overwhelmed by Leopard 2s. And his smoke game was good, but yeah, imagine if he'd been coming in from that right side, and then he'd come in from that hill, and he'd smoked all that up. He would have been in there with... You got to bring the infantry right, and you got to bring the Cubs up as well, because Axis's air was good, but Axes is the plural. It doesn't actually, doesn't signify possession.